What is going on, everybody? We're back at another stream, another live. So first of all, I want to apologize if my voice sounds very cracked. I am a little bit under the weather today, but of course the show must go on. So do me a favor, if first time coming in or repeat subscribers, please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Of course, we are talking about one of the newest battles that hasn't happened in a while. So everybody has heard of Captain America. He's been around for shit the longest I can remember. He is a icon, a legend at this point almost, and he is unique with mankind. I would definitely say that. Now, Master Chief, he's new. I'm not very familiar with him. I'll be honest with you guys. I am not very familiar with Master Chief. He's new to me. So this is why I'm gonna ask your assistance to help me out here a little bit tonight. To everybody else join us, I'm curious how this is gonna go because I'm not very familiar with Master Chief. So I'm definitely already on Captain America's side. It's something that I'm very new on to. Is I gotta be honest, I'm not sure because I'm always been a big Captain America fan. And who will win the battle? And that is the question: who will win the battle in this one? Because I'm already voting, with Captain America because I don't know any. From what my research have done, he really doesn't have any magic, powers. He's a cyborg, so he's already behind the eight ball fighting against Captain America there on the spot. So what the heck? Hmm. That is an interesting conversation. Gonna be human versus cyborg. So Master Chief is the iconic hero from the Halo series. We already said that. He's a general and cyborg engineer super soldier. So both of them are super soldiers. We definitely know that. Knowing they known for his remarkable combat powers and strength, mind as a Spartan 2. That is the rank of what they go off in Halo. Like lieutenant, captain, and so on. He was undergoing extreme physical and mental makeovers. I don't know why I put that there. But anyway, make him far supreme of most human soldiers is his strength, his speed, his agility, his cunning, his aim, and with advanced technology like his Jinlong armor. That's the armor they use. Where am I? Where I left out? Which his ability further the providers of real-time tactical data. Master Chief excels in both close quarters combat and long range engineering. He resists. Fuck it, I can't pronounce that goddamn word. And force under force under per under excuse me, force under pressure combat with his extremely fighting allies forces are near impossible at make him a high foe in fighting. In the battle against any opponent, keyword any opponent, includes heroes like Captain America, Master Chief, except military training, physical abilities, and advanced technology gives him an edge in technology warfare. Okay, let's start with that. Hey, what is going on? Hey, hope you're good tonight. So, we are talking Captain America in Chief. So, let me know if you know anything about it because I'm not very familiar with Master Chief Thomas. I know Captain America very well, but that's it really. So, hang on one second, guys. I'm having a little bit moment here because my gear doesn't want to work tonight. So let's get back to it. Okay, Captain America. Now, let's talk about him for a second. So, what do we know about Captain America? We know a good amount of stuff about him. Obviously, we definitely know he was a super soldier. We know he had this, super soldier serum, and he's probably older as it's probably older than our pain right now. I'll give him that. So, Captain America, also known as Steve Rogers, is one of the ones. Excuse me. Man, my throat is killing me today. Is one of Marvel's most iconic superhero characters. During World War II, Steve was the original fair young man who volunteered to be experimented the super soldier serum. This sense expand his physical and mental to peaks of a human performance that it has never given before. Speed, agility, and high heights factors everything. Imagine if you can jump that high. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. All right. Do you know anything about Captain America, at least? You gotta be on one or the other. Hey, Cass, what's going on, brother? So, let me finish with my little intro for Captain America. When set Captain America a part of his enduring will, mindset, and leadership skills. He's not just a powerful soldier, but he's also a symbol of justice. His value. Shield is not only a defending tool, but also a powerful offense weapon. Captain Cap of absorb and defends master blows and objectives. Yeah. Captain America can fight symbols in his hand-to-hand combat, military training, and shield profile. He has extremely at the edge in the battlefield. That is still to be questioned. Let's be honest, guys. This is still to be questioned about that. So let's continue and figure this out together. Where was I? In multiple wars and against the most powerful foes, as Hydra and so on, allies, super villains, and good good foes. And don't forget, we also have fought some gods in the meantime. In the battle against Master Chief, Captain America stands line in his opponent. Tactical thinking. He is inspiring leader. While he doesn't have the same level of tech as Master Chief, he resolves underbreaking resolves and expertise in combat against a technical super opponent could make for a close showdown. So, guys, all right, guys, we got some comments here. Let's go over that really fast before we get into it. All right, the shield is a famous Jewish symbol. The Mega David, which means the shield of David. I'm not really too familiar about this. I'll be honest with you, that guys. It's also known as the Star of David. That I do know because the Mager David is a exango. Can't pronounce that word. I apologize. Hey, Mariana, what is going on tonight? The term of shield in Jewish prayer does not the closing and provide of God. Like I said, I'm not familiar with Jewish religion that much. I know a few things here and there, so I do apologize if I don't know too much. I know a few things here and there, so I do. Again, I apologize. I don't know too much about it. So, as we're saying that, send the link again. Okay, give me a second, Paul. I'm going to send to you right now. And I'm gonna drop it in the chats in a minute, guys. Give me 1 minute before I forget again, because I am getting old. I am getting old, so guys, remember that. I'm not a young chicken anymore, and I'm under the weather a little bit. If you can't hear my voice cracking already. The worst thing is to get up in the morning on your weekend of work and you're sick as a dog. That's the worst thing. Think I was no fever, just a really bad cough. Hey Eric, what is going on? We're gonna wait. Can we, our Mr. President a few minutes to jump on, and we're gonna continue the conversation. So, we got a lot of people coming in tonight. I like this. I'm loving this. Boss man, I have the link in the chat. Please join us. You are welcome as always. You're a part of this family like always. So I'm gonna keep the edge. So here's where I have a hard time, debating who has the edge, who doesn't. Captain America has more experience. So, thanks. Yeah, it's orange is your best friend right now. Hopefully this will be out of my system in a day or two. It's definitely gonna be out of my system before Comic Con. I promise you that. Let's get him in here. Let's get his intro. Let's salute Mr. President.
What's good?
How are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm good.
You sound better than me. I'll be honest with you right now.
Well, look, for once, for the first time in a long time, I actually slept in this morning. Like, I got up when I wanted to get up, so I didn't get up probably until like almost 11 a.m. Just to sleep in. Had a good workout. Hung out with the wife in the afternoon, so just chilling, man. I don't get too many chill weekends, and although I did mow my lawn, I did do that after the workout, and but outside of that, feeling pretty good, and feeling a lot better than I have in a while.
I'll be honest with you, I feel like dog shit today.
I'm sure.
That's
tough, man. I mean, yeah,
you can hear my voice, can you?
Yeah.
Woo. So, I'll give it the floor for a minute. Give me your thoughts about Captain America versus Captain Chief.
Honestly, I know zilch about. I did watch a video today, sort of like a Cliff Notes version of Master Chief's background and powers and abilities, and it definitely seems a lot more complex than Cap's. I mean, it's almost as if Master Chief is almost like a combination of Captain America and Iron Man, because obviously he's got this tech suit that gives him a lot of powers and abilities and whatnot that augment what he already has.
Because I'm not really too familiar with Halo series, because I really haven't had an Xbox. I had a 360 for a little bit, but I'm more a PlayStation guy. Like, I can literally show you a bunch of PlayStation decoration on this side of the room, but it's kind of messy, so let's keep it on this side of the room. But I know more about Captain America because I'm always been a big Marvel fan. And you know that, obviously. Me and you spoke about this before.
Yeah.
So I know about Captain America. From where he seems like more like a super soldier / cyborg. So with his tech and everything.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's triple layered. One,
Yeah.
he's been augmented, genetically. Plus, he's got these cybernetic implants, but the implants aren't like he's got like a metal arm or something like that. He's not like the Terminator or something. It's like these implants seem to be almost like on a molecular or cellular level. And certainly he's got these things put into his brain. His brain has been augmented to receive AI and neural links to the powers that be or whatever. So it definitely seems like he's a lot more complex in terms of his setup and makeup. And then again, you put the tech, which from what I understand, like I said, to me is very much like Iron Man in that there have been several iterations. Just so you had several Iron Man suits over the years. This Master Chief has gotten I think he's up to like version 6 of the uniform or something like that. So every cycle or every so often they give him a new one and they augment his powers or something even to even more. So it's so like I said, I mean it's definitely seems like a combination Iron Man to an extent plus his genetic augmentation plus his cybernetic and other augmentations that they've done to him. But he's definitely much more like a Frankenstein monster than he is a human being, which to me is almost too, because again, I like I said, the video watching his backstory was kind of sad actually. I think that apparently he was a child on a human child on a settler planet or whatever, and basically he was sought after because of his genetic or mental makeup, and they created a clone of him and basically swapped out the clone with him, knowing with the clone supposedly is going to die like in a couple years. So it's like they swapped the kid out, and then the clone dies in a couple years. So again, for me, whoever the I guess the institution is that this Master Chief works for, I can't say if their goals or efforts are altruistic or not. It seems a bit more nefarious to me, or it's in that they just want to sort of put down anybody who steps up against them. They use any means necessary to put down their enemies. And if that means going in and stealing kids from their parents and swapping them with clones or whatever they got to do to win whatever against their enemies, they're willing to take by any means necessary. So I don't, I know Captain America, with the at least in the MCU universe. I mean, obviously there was, Shield got compromised by Hydra, and there's some forces in there that certainly weren't up to no good either. But again, I don't know who had it worse. But it just seems like this person who plays Master Chief, he's been manipulated. It was almost like when I was going through the video, it was almost like they did with I don't know if you saw the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but they actually showed you like the surgeries or whatnot they did to Rocket. I
did see. I caught up on those at least.
It was pretty brutal. I mean, if you especially if you own pets, if you have anything about animals or whatever, I mean, it was like animal cruelty. And it just seems like with the Master Chief, it seems like there was a lot of cruel things that were done to him that, no one should necessarily sign up for. He was stolen. I don't know how much of what was done to him was of his free will, what they pitched him on or whatnot, but to allow yourself to go through that many surgeries and that many procedures, I don't know if someone willfully does that. I know Steve Rogers, he signed up for the Supersoldier program, but again, he was a frail individual, a sickly individual and whatnot. And certainly, obviously, he became better in so many ways because of it. I don't think it's the same thing. I think there's a difference. And Rogers, he tried so hard to get into the military. He kept failing health tests to get into the military, but he wanted to do something,
they showed that in the Avengers very well, actually.
Yeah, he wanted to fight. But he just had these physical limitations, but he certainly had the heart and character that they were looking for. and so he volunteered for the program. Um, to me, that's very different than the almost Frankenstein like, or like I said, the Rocket Raccoon like way that they went about it with the Master Chief. And so I don't, like I said, I haven't seen the I know, I guess there's like an animated movie or there's extended, because of it comes out of the game. I'm sure they told the backstory. So I don't know if they did did they do a live action movie with Halo? Or is it
No. They had a live action series they did for a little bit. I
a
haven't watched
series?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, because again, I don't know too much about it.
Okay. Yeah. So I would, certainly need to spend more time, catching up on that and seeing again what's the motive, what's his motive, if he has one. Is he being controlled? Is he being, manipulated in some way? Do they have? I mean, they put that neural link into his brain and whatnot. Can they control him? Can they shut him down? Let's say if he came to a conscious to say, look, you know what, I don't want to do this stuff anymore. Could they shut him down? Because of what they put into him. I mean, he's like RoboCop. It's like RoboCop had that program where if he tried to arrest a member of OCP, he would shut down. So it could be something like that. But it doesn't seem like we're dealing with a whole person versus Captain America, or Steve Rogers, who's not only shown what we saw certainly in MCU and later films, he certainly has full agency over himself. He doesn't answer necessarily to anyone. Even though he's a man of high character. So, if in that sense, it's harder for me to make a judgment about Master Chief because, again, I don't know, what that deal is with the people and foes, like what they're fighting for. Who are they fighting? Is this just two powers just going at it? Is there a benevolent force? Is this like, U.S. and Germany back in the day, where you can kind of more identify the good guys and the bad guys, or are these just two competing forces that are just trying to get power or keep their power. So again, I don't know enough about the backstory to do that, but I would say that based on the specs that I saw, Master Chief, he seems to have the advantage in terms of, because they said that he has superhuman strength. They didn't necessarily designate what that was. They said he can run. They said 100 kilometers an hour, which is like, 40, 50 miles an hour. If you do the, actually it's fast, like 60 miles an hour.
Like do the math, you mean?
Yeah, if kilometers to miles or whatever, but it's like 60 kilometers an hour. So he seemed like he could run faster than Captain America. Plus they said he's superhuman. Now, again, depending on the, what you see and what you read, from what I understand, Captain America is supposed to be, he's supposed to be a advanced human, but still human. In other words, Captain America is able to operate within what is possible for a human being. So he can bench press like 1,200 pounds. He can run fast, if not faster than Usain Bolt. But it's not supposed to be to the extent that he's superhuman. He's just at the peak of what a human can be, as far as like a gymnast, so he can do everything a gymnast can do or whatever. And he's been able to combine all of those attributes into his fighting style. But it seems like, again, depending on the movie. Now, I remember in Civil War, he was doing stuff like he held a helicopter with one arm. That's stuff that, I don't know any human who can do that when a helicopter's trying to pull away and you could hold it with one arm. That seems to exceed human capabilities. So I think the MCU took some liberties with what he can and cannot do. But what I've always understood is that whatever a human being, so think about the world records in the bench press and the deadlift and the whatever, or the speed records or whatever it is, he would be the best. He would beat Usain Bolt in a 100 meters or anything. He can run a mile like in 2 minutes or something. He can, because he doesn't tire, right? So he certainly has a lot of abilities, but again, it's at the human level. He can't lift a ton. Because to my understanding, human beings can't lift a ton. You know what I mean? Not in one list. I used to watch a lot of like World's Strongest Man competitions, and I've seen what a lot of those guys can do. So my interpretation is that Captain America can do stuff like that, but he can't literally pick up a 2,000-pound car off the ground. That's not something he should be able to do. Yes, correct. Yes, super soldier known as a Spartan. Yeah. So to me, it would seem like the Spartans in general would have an advantage physically over Captain America, in terms of, now they're gonna be similar in that the Spartans, from what I understand, they have, because of their brain augmentation, they're supposed to have these their reaction time is supposed to be sped up. But so is Captain America's. I mean, he can process information faster than a normal person would. His reflexes are advanced to an extent, very much like the Spartans. But who would I pick if I just take the armor? That's another thing. If you're saying with his tech armor on and all his weapons and stuff, that would be pretty formidable. If Captain America went against that, but in hand-to-hand combat, just take the gloves off, take everything off. You guys get into a fight or whatever. I might have to take Cap, simply because of the fact that the one thing that I didn't hear about with the Spartans is, and again, I know they go through a lot of training and whatnot, but I didn't hear anything that was on the level of like a Captain America. Like and you correct me if I'm wrong, Peter, if you were to rank the greatest fighters in comic books, you may put either, and this could be like a 1A or a 1B, you could put Captain America and Batman at the top. Then after that, you may say like Shang-Chi, after that, and then you got guys like Taskmaster and Deadpool, and if just fighting ability. I'm not talking about superpowers and stuff like that. I'm just guys who like Captain America and Batman apparently know like every martial art there is. And with Captain America, because of his enhanced abilities, he incorporated that almost like into his own fighting style. But, so for me, the more interesting contest would be Batman versus Captain America, even though I would choose Cap there also, because the one thing that the advantage Captain America would have is that he doesn't tire. So him and Bruce, I think he would land some shots in. I think they have similar abilities, again, being at the peak of human, potential. Batman can bench 1,200 pounds and he can do gymnastics and all that kind of stuff, but he would tire. But the super soldier formula keeps Captain America. He can fight for long periods of time without
tiring.
time.
Cut you off for 1 second here.
Yeah.
So as you were talking, I looked it up back, and when I was on the backstage. So the best fighters from Marvel in rank for the top 15 are like this.
I just said in comics.
Yeah, okay,
that's why I said. That's why I took Batman from that also.
Comics,
I mean, just from every comic that I've read or every perspective that I've read, you say Batman might be the best fighter in the DC universe. Captain America, he's up there near or certainly in the top as far as the Marvel universe. So that's why I said overall, just comics that I've read. You start breaking it down in terms of who the best are. That's why I chose those two, because it seems to be pretty consistent that, both of these guys, both Batman and Captain America, they fought superhuman people and held their own against those people, even though those other beings had advantages.
So according to this list, I don't agree with it, to be honest with you right now. So I'm not familiar with his characters. He's called a Karate Kid, not from the movie, a different character from the DC series. The Kazing Kate, again, I'm not familiar with that. Black Canary, I'm familiar with. Deathstroke, I'm familiar with. Nightwing, we know about.
Yeah.
Richard Dragon, again, I'm not familiar with that one too much. Batman is in 6th place.
Wow.
Ra's al Ghul is in 7th,
Ra's al Ghul,
right under him, and can't pronounce his name. I'm gonna put it in the chat because I cannot pronounce this guy's name. I'm not gonna try. So good luck, guys, who can pronounce this because I can't. Here you go. So and
Constantine Dracon. Yeah.
Yeah. So and after that we have Lady Xing, Bozuki Tiger, David Kane, and COVID Hawk. Those are the top. What was it? Top 15 or whatever it is.
In the DC universe.
Yeah.
Right.
I typed in comic books, best fighters in comic books, and that's what came up.
Mm-hmm.
So let me try something else. Hang on a second. I'm curious. Let's say DC and Marvel. Let's see what comes up. Okay. Now let's change. So Iron Fist is number 1. I'm very surprised on that one personally. But okay, I'll give it up. Captain America in second place. Daredevil's in third. Batman's in fourth. Senshin is in fifth. Again, a Karate Kid character comes back up. Taskmaster's in here. Wolverine.
Yeah, Taskmaster. Yeah,
I'll agree with that. Wonder Woman. I have mixed feelings behind because she has skill, but it's more with a sword. Empty-handed, she's not that good. This one, Kamank, can't pronounce the goddamn name. Then you have Elektra. Elektra, I'll give her credit. She can kick ass. If she's down, she's taking it down. She's gonna regret you're a fuck with her. Black Canary, Black Widow, Deathstroke, we knew about. Jason Todd. Yeah, all these names I'm like.
Well, is Daredevil in that list?
Daredevil's in the third place.
Third place.
Yeah. Why are you surprised with that?
No, I'm not surprised, but like again, give me the top 5 again. So this is regardless of the comic, DC or Marvel.
Yes.
Okay, so give me the top 5 again.
Iron Man, Batman.
Wait a minute, Iron Man is the top fighter?
I'm sorry, Iron Fist.
Iron Fist. Okay.
I apologize. Iron Fist, Batman, Black Panther, Captain America, Shang-Chi, Bozuki Tiger, Daredevil, Karate Kid, Lady Xing, and there's no specific order. They have it. That's how they have it, like this.
So where's Batman then?
Here, let me show my screen here for a second. Hang on, my computer is acting stupid. Oh, finally my screen fucking worked. Yep, boom. All right. So let's get back over here. So you see the list, obviously. It doesn't have 1, 2, 3, 4. It just I'm assuming it's from 1.
Oh, okay.
Down. I'm not sure if it's across or
yeah. I don't think it's ranked. It's just listing them, but they're not. They're not ranked. Let me see.
Yes.
Yeah, got it. Let me see if I can find some.
So Eric's saying the official handbook of Marvel Universe, which is available online. Come on, get out of there. Online of only viewers. Is there a different reason of the Marvel characters? I don't know how to answer that question.
It's the definitive. Yeah, the Marvel Universe is basically it's like an encyclopedia of all of the characters in the Marvel Universe. So it talks about their background. So it's like an A to Z.
Oh, okay.
It's an A to Z on the characters.
Wikipedia, pretty much.
Exactly. So it gives you their backgrounds. It gives you their powers and abilities. And yeah, it's definitely, like I said, it's like a Cliff Notes guide, so to speak. So it'll give you a primer on all of the characters within the Marvel space. So definitely, that's a decent guide. And they have like power meters and stuff in terms of like their fighting ability and endurance and all those kind of things. But I've never seen anything where they actually ranked these characters though.
I want to see if they have something further down. See what this says. Top 20 hero power Marvel and DC. So number 1 is Karate Kid. These guys keep coming up like a top list. I have never heard of this guy. So I am very surprised. Has anybody in the chat heard of this guy? Please tell me because I'm completely this is newcomer to me. Taskmaster, I heard. Richard Dragon, I heard a little about him, not too much. Shang, yeah, I can see that. Karhak, am I saying that right? Okay,
Karnak.
Thank you. Batman's in sixth place. I would.
Yeah,
If it
I'm
was my
looking
list.
at the source I have is from Comic Vine,
Okay.
and it says the top hand to hand. This is why I said earlier that again that was important. Hand to hand. So the top hand to hand combatant. So as you said again, Karate Kid, Taskmaster. Though I am surprised at Taskmaster because Deadpool beat Taskmaster. Because the thing with Taskmaster is he studies your style and he can mimic it. But they said with Deadpool, his style was so unorthodox that Taskmaster couldn't replicate his style, and so Deadpool bested him because of that. At least that's the story that I heard. But some of these guys, honestly, I haven't heard of. I haven't heard of Richard Dragon or Mister X, or Bronze Tiger, Dak. Some of these guys, Iron Fist, I've heard of, but but
So
again,
I did another search just now as you're talking. So I'm gonna share the screen again. So I typed in best martial art comic book character from best martial arts comic books. So this has changed. Is Iron Fist still is number one? I'll keep him that. I'll keep Iron Fist up there. I won't give him number one. Personal
well,
opinion
again,
again.
even here, it's not ranking them. It's just
Yeah,
just listing, but it's
yeah,
not putting them in any order per se.
correct. So I wouldn't. I would have had him down and someone down here. But again, that's a personal opinion.
Hmm.
Shang-Chi, Karate Kid, Elektra, Jason Todd. I don't think Jason Todd is that fucking good. I think Batman's better because Batman's the master.
Yeah.
And like I would have had, Batman somewhere else. So again, I don't 100% agree with this. It's Nightwing, he's like Deathstroke, Corner Hawk, and like Batman's like on the other side. I wonder if he's going across. That makes more sense to me. Then if it is, then Batman's higher up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then straight down. But again, this is a weird fucking list. So let's go to a different website here. So this one has Batman at number one.
Yeah.
Then it has
Yeah. I've seen.
yeah.
Now this is
Has,
DC. Go back up to the top. This is DC. Best martial artist in comics. So I guess it's listing everybody. Yeah.
yeah, but if you see the first three is 1, 2, 3, 4. Four top ones are all DCs. Then even number 5 is DC again.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this is a Batman character that I never heard of because she was dressed like a Batgirl, Bat something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is all DC. I can tell you right now, because you can tell at least 95% of it is like now you have Captain America. I'm like, again, I don't agree that low listing. I would have him if I had. I'm gonna do. You know what we should do, bro? I'm like, tell me how you think about this really fast. Maybe do it on an episode on a hangout, like obviously Saturday. Our own version of a list, best martial art fighters.
Right. Right. Well, again, it would be based on I mean, it would maybe based on what we know because again, some of these guys I've never heard of, or never followed. So
like my buddy CQ or Eric, like who are live and die comic books. And like I give you that. Like I don't live and die by comic books. So like I like them, I love them, I like talking about them, but I don't know everything about them. There's way too much to know about them. There's a whole new world about that stuff.
Yeah, especially I gotta do some research on this Karate Kid because I've never heard of him from the DC side. And here's another list that I found.
Do you ever heard of him? Because I know you know more about comic books than me and Paul do. I'm curious if you do.
Yeah.
So a couple of this it says her money's on Captain America.
Captain America. Yeah, I mean he studied. I mean, plus he's been able to study with, again, super beings. I mean, just being part of the Avengers and just other teams that he's been able to, to work with. I'm sure they've taught him stuff, whatever. And again, I've seen him. We saw in Civil War he bested Spider-Man. I mean, who's supposed to be.
Yeah. Throw a little monkey wrench. If you remember Captain America 1, he was a basic fighter, nothing crazy. Avengers 2, also nothing crazy about his fighting style.
He amped it up because he fought. Remember, he fought. Who's that MMA fighter? From the French guy. Oh, jeez, what's his name? Let me get that guy's name. Oh, Portier or something. What was that guy's name?
I'm not sure which one you're talking about now. Now you got me confused.
JSP is his JSP is his initials. George St. Pierre.
Okay.
Who's like he's like, you know, in MMA history, he's like one of the top fighters in MMA. So in the opening of that movie, he fought St. Pierre in the opening, and his skills definitely went up. Because that day he actually he put his shield down, he took his helmet off, and they went hand to hand. And he definitely did some moves in there,
That was
much more like karate and martial arts moves than he did in the first film.
That was in Captain America 2.
Yeah, that was the
So it was Captain America 1, then it was Avengers 1, before Captain America 2 came out. That was later on.
Correct.
Yeah. So what I was saying after between the timeline, Captain America 1 and Avengers, his skills was saying, but when he went to like you're saying into Captain America Winter Soldier, Captain America 2, his skill it dramatically increased.
Yeah, it went up. He definitely put some moves into his game that weren't there in the first two films. And I think that certainly would, you know, following that story arc in terms of continuing his development. But Eric hates Deadpool, by the way. I said, but that Deadpool, I've either seen like or hate. There's no in between in terms of Deadpool. But yeah, he does not. Eric does not like Deadpool at all. He's never liked Deadpool, but it's
he's a cool character, kind of like he can go from, oh man, that's just funny, like, what the fuck, dude? You just blew this guy's head off.
It's like they give him too many outs. I mean, he constantly breaks the fourth wall. They give him so many gadgets that he can get out of almost anything. I mean, it's almost like it's unfair that the advantages and the things he's able to attain, because there's no way he should be besting a lot of these guys. Yeah, George St. Pierre, definitely one of the top 3 MMA fighters of all time. So that fight with him and Captain America, it was shorter than I thought it would be. I thought that it would be more of a contest, but yeah, Cap, he did this this sort of, some sort of crazy kick where he does like a flip in the air and kicks him and takes him out. I mean,
360, he went like 360.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, that was like, wow. Yeah, that was a sick kick.
Realistically, that's not impossible. I'll be honest with you.
Right. Like, but again, when you think about his gymnastics abilities, like I said, he basically takes what he can do, and he incorporated all of that into his own martial arts. So he studied a ton of arts, and based on what he can do physically, he's incorporated all of that into his martial arts. So I can certainly see him just coming up with that, and not too many guys, certainly not, regular human beings are certainly able to do that. So I can certainly appreciate that kind of kick. I mean, it looks sick when I didn't see it coming, and when he did it, I was like, wow.
I was going to ask you today, who do you think has a better combat skill?
So that's the thing. In the video that I watched on Master Chief, they didn't talk about his combat skill. The only thing that they talked about was, again, his advanced reflexes, his speed. He can run very fast, and his suit that gives him augmented powers. But like I'm saying, you take all that off, he's certainly going to be, they said he's superhuman, meaning so he may be stronger than Captain America, but is he going to be able to beat him in a hand-to-hand combat? I don't know. I would still, just based on what I know of Captain America, I may give him the edge, because I know Captain America has fought and possibly beat enhanced people. I mean, we saw in the MCU movie, he beat Iron Man with all of his, advanced technologies and whatnot. So Captain can hold his own with a lot of people. He even, for a while, he even stand up to Thanos for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so Captain America can hold his own against a lot of superpowered people. And so I don't think that Master Chief would necessarily be that much different. I just think that, I would have to see more Master Chief in action.
I only seen him go with guns blazing. I have not seen him.
And that's the thing too, right?
So I don't think he is able to outfight Captain America. To be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah. And if you want to bring weapons into it, I mean, Cap is pretty good with the shield. And I would assume, again, I know we're talking about different universes or whatnot, but I would assume that I don't think there's anything within the Halo universe that could pierce or beat adamantium or vibranium. I mean, his shield is made out of like a adamantium / vibranium mix. So I don't, I think it would be difficult for a Master Chief's weapons to get by him. And the way Cap uses the shield, he may even disable some of those advantages that he may have as a result of that. But that, to me, that's where the rubber meets the road. I mean, it's like, yeah, take your gear off and let's get into an arena or a floor or whatever, and let's just go. That is kind of how I measure, fighting ability, or who I would like one person over another.
So, Captain America has proven he can fight a hand-to-hand. Sorry, guys. So Captain America won a hand-to-hand combat. He's dropped the shield multiple times, and he went hands-on with people. Chief has never gone hands-on with anybody. So that tells me right now I'm going to give that point to Captain America. But I also did in the background, did a GPT chat about Captain America versus who's stronger. And it says here Captain America is stronger by one category.
Really?
Yes. So the supersoldier check. We have the strength check, and the here. And the other one, what gives Captain Chief the little bit is the Spartan 2 cybernetics, and that's why they're knocking him down lower. His armor increases his strength. It boosts him. It says here. And it says he can. His armor nearly is indestructible.
Indestructible, right?
Yes, that's why they're giving it to Captain America the edge, because he dropped our armor, like we just said. Go to hand. Guess who's gonna win?
Yeah, I would have to give it to him. I really would. That shield is protection of God. It's pretty proud. I mean, again, Thanos, he did break it. I mean, because but Thanos had that knife blade weapon that he had fashioned for Endgame was made by those same elves. So it came from like the same thing that made Millionaire. It kind of came from the same thing. I remember Karate Kid did not avidly read his comic book. You could also do a Google search. Yeah, so I would have to look into the Karate Kid a little bit more. Like I said, I haven't, and my thing is this: it's like, if by now, with all of the the movies and the franchises that have been out, if you would have to be certainly well into the comics to even know who these people are, or Absolutely. That the character is not popular enough to warrant their own movie. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
they haven't gotten around to make a movie about him yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, but again, in terms of order of popularity, right? Regardless, he's not a popular character. And again, there's a lot of Iron Fist isn't that popular, even though I know they had a series on Netflix or whatever with him and I think Power Man and Iron Fist or whatever. I think they did a Netflix series.
Yeah, they did both of them.
With that. But again, it's like, I mean, you talk about making money, and you always lead with your best. Now, both Marvel and DC, they're both scrambling right now in terms of, okay, we launched the Avengers, or even with the DCEU. Now, who we're going to come up with next? I mean, we can't just go out with people that nobody's ever heard of.
Back on that a little bit. Marvel is actually doing Disney, I should say. It already has their plan for the next 10 years because of they're doing Secret Wars and the next Avengers and all that stuff is coming out soon. There's already a timeline for that. DC is struggling still. They don't know how the hell they want to reboot the whole series because how bad the first one.
I get that, but that's my point. That's my point. Mm-hmm. DC is looking to reboot, but with the same characters though.
Yeah.
Marvel tried to expand, like they came out with the Eternals, which from what I understand didn't do very well. So again, once you start to go outside of the arc of these major characters that people are familiar with, you may run into some trouble. in terms of popularity. Because again, people have had to have heard of you. So they're not going to come out with like the Karate Kid. He might have to be like a minor character in a major film release. You know what I'm saying?
This is the time I wish CQ was on here because he knows everything about this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I know I did get a chance to reach out to him because I've been under the weather, like I said.
Right.
But if he was on here, he can educate us a little more about this because this is his forte. I'm not gonna lie to you about that.
Yeah.
It's more about him than I do. But I will say one thing with the Marvel. Let me ask you a question really first before even I say that. How do you feel that Captain America, Iron Man is Doctor Doom now? What's your opinion about that? I have mixed feelings about that.
I don't like it because again, I think now this used to be something that was done back in the like in the 50s and the 60s, even the 70s, where you can have this guy play all these different characters and whatnot. But I think the role of Tony Stark is so iconic that to see him playing someone else entirely, it's going to be very difficult for me to make that disconnect. It just is.
So I have a theory here, and hear me out. So my theory is that they're going to loop around somehow, and he's going to be in the Legend Earth or whatever, the Secret Universe, whatever they call it now. Because every time it's different, and all the other Avengers are going to say, "Tony, you're alive," and he's going to turn like, "Who the fuck is Tony?" He's going to take his hand like, "I'm not Tony. I'm Dr. Van Doom," or whatever his fucking name is. And then we're going looking like, what? And they're fighting each other like, "Tony, you don't remember?" Like, "I'm not Tony, dickhead." I'm like, "I'm Dr. Doom. Who the hell is Tony?" I think if they do that, I'll give them credit because nobody's been expecting that. And let's be honest, except you're not a hardcore Avengers fan like I am, or Eric, or even yourself, as an average watcher who just watches the movies, see that coming? No, they're not going to see that coming. You know that.
Yeah, that's almost like, imagine like even like in wrestling, right? I mean, I know wrestlers have changed characters over time, but it's like Hulk Hogan coming out being like somebody else.
Like he did. He actually was. Don't remember that. He was because he had to wear a mask. He was a Mr. America for a little bit.
But everybody knows Hogan. But I mean, but again, that was a spoof. I'm saying, but that was like a reveal. Everybody knew it was Hulk Hogan and all that kind of stuff. So I'm saying, like, for him to just totally take on like a different persona or like and I know he had Hollywood Hogan and all, those sort of iterations, but it was still Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? But to take on a totally new character and go into a new direction. And to me, it's what's kind of limiting is, to me, that's bad casting. You mean to tell me with all of these actors out there looking to get work, you mean to tell me you couldn't find somebody to play Dr. Doom? Now, I would like to know in the chat, I know from Eric or whomever, who follows this stuff, if not Tony, if not our guy playing Doom, who do you think could play? And I know me and Eric, we used to do this all the time. Like we casted the X-Men long before the X-Men came out. We picked Patrick Stewart back in the 80s to play Professor X. We knew he would be the perfect Professor X, Charles Xavier, in the 80s before the X-Men.
To be honest with you,
before the X-Men moved, but we picked that before it came out. Like, so I knew, the model. I don't know if you remember this model named Iman. Black Ethiopian model. I think she's with David Bowie. She was also in Star Trek 6. She played the shapeshifter in Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country.
It's kind of ringing a bell now.
Yeah. But that was our Storm. We thought she would have been perfect for Storm. I mean, she was a very prestigious model, like in the 80s and whatnot, and we thought that she would be perfect. So we would play that game all the time. So I would certainly be curious to know, for those in the chat, who would you want to, if you were going to choose somebody to play Dr. Doom? It could be any actor from any period of time. Who would you want to? And I'll ask you, Peter, who would you have chosen, if not Oh God, I'm having a brain freeze right now.
Doctor Doom.
The actor playing Doctor Doom now. Who would you have chosen if not him? Who would you have chosen?
I gotta think about that for a second because I never thought about that. To be honest with you, bro. Just give me a minute. Circle back because I had to think about that for a minute.
Yeah, so yeah, she was a model. Now as a clothing designer, I didn't know that, but yeah, but back in the day, she was perfect for Storm. Perfect. That would have been, I would have liked her in the role. The fact that she's an African, much better than Halle Berry. I didn't think Halle Berry did a bad job, but I definitely thought, yes, married to David Bowie, yes, but I definitely would have thought that she would have did a much better job than Halle Berry in that role. I would have liked to have seen like an African woman in that role. So even like today with the the Black Panther, like Danny, the one who plays the head of the Dormology, I think she would do a great job in it. Or the British actress who was in Woman King. She was also in the last James Bond movie. I think she could have done a good job with that. So I mean, there's a lot of actresses that I would have liked to have seen in that role.
If you're
for
able
Storm.
to convince him to cut his hair and shave his beard, and I think that's never going to happen. Every role he plays, he has long hair and beard. Jason Momoa, I can't pronounce his last goddamn name.
Momoa.
Momoa. I think he could be a fucking kick-ass Doctor Doom.
Well, see, the thing is with Doom, I don't know how much of the man. Like, I haven't seen a lot of Doctor Doom outside of the suit. From what from what I always understood, he's kind of like like an average guy. He's not a massive person or whatever, but it's the suit gives him sort of like this illusion of power of being big and powerful. But I thought he was relatively feeble outside of the suit, or pretty low. Grace Jones too, absolutely. Yeah, she would have definitely pulled Storm off as well. So
Why?
so
What's going on?
yay, good to see you.
Yeah,
But I would have but as far as Doom himself, I've never seen anybody play. Honestly, here's somebody I know who could possibly play Doom. And again, I know this could be a possible crossover. I already talked about. I didn't necessarily like the idea of crossovers, but who I could see is the guy who plays Loki. Right?
I can see that.
I could see him being Doom. I could see him being that aristocrat, because again, he comes from this sort of aristocratic type of background or something.
The guy who plays Scarecrow in Batman Begins. What's his
yes, I could
name?
see him. The guy he was just in Oppenheimer. He might be a little old for it now, but yes, the guy who played in him also. Yes, I could certainly see that guy. Let me get his name real quick. Yeah, Cillian Murphy, or Cillian Murphy or Cillian Murphy. I forget how to properly pronounce his name, but yes, he could definitely pull off Doctor Doom. I can certainly see that. In that role.
I did. I typed it up.
Now this is interesting. Now again, had it not been for him playing such a great Doctor Strange, I can definitely see Cumberbatch as Doctor Doom. So a guy who plays Doctor Strange, if he were Doctor Doom, I could see that. But again, I couldn't replace I think he did such a great job with Doctor Strange. I can't see him replacing that. But yeah, that's an excellent pick, Eric. I can definitely rock with that. If given given the opportunity, definitely.
Oh, absolutely. I think he could have kicked ass right there 100% because he fits the role too. Because he has that kind of mentality, you know what I'm saying?
Indeed. Oh, and just to give you a heads up in terms of our all-time Wolverine, it definitely would have been our guy from Mad Max. It definitely would have been. I'm having a brain freeze right now. The Australian actor from the Lethal Weapon series.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. But
Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson.
Really, Mel Gibson? I don't see Mel
Gibson. If you watched the Lethal Weapon series, And when he went nuts, like when he would go into this like berserker mode. That is Wolverine in a nutshell. He absolutely could have been Wolverine back in the day. Go back and watch some Lethal Weapon footage and come back to me with that one. That was our Wolverine way back. He was made for that role.
I don't know about that, bro. I think Mel Gibson. I don't see Mel Gibson doing it, at least right now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, no. Like I said, we're talking about all time. Like we're talking about all just actors over time, like roles we saw. Man, like we're like I said, me and we were watching the Lethal Weapon films, and we said back in the '80s, that's Wolverine. We just said it. When he would go, Mel would like lose his stuff. Like he would just go, like he would just go into this mad berserker rage. Yeah. And that's Wolverine. we because that was from now again, the guy who plays him now, he's been great for the series. I'm not saying that he should have been there. Like I think it was well cast. But I'm saying, Mel, I think really could have took it up a notch as well. He would have been, I think he would have been just as good in that role too. But again, obviously with timing and age, it wouldn't have worked out anyway. But again, that's the thing we would always play. Who would you cast as this? Who would you cast as that? We used to love doing that back in the day.
That's interesting. Because I felt like the X-Men or OG cast was actually a good cast, to be honest with you. Personally, that's my personal opinion. The script was hard. Now looking back and watching, okay, the script could have been better. If they redone the movie with a better script today, I think it would be a killer movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Viggo Mortensen, that looks, yep. From Lord of the Rings, I could see that. I could definitely see that. That's a good one.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. Mel Gibson, he was a fighter. He was the one that directed all the fight scenes in all his movies. Yeah, when he went nuts, it was like, it's like, how do you even pass out from all that, from that, he would just freak out, So yeah, I would have loved to have seen him in that role as Wolverine. No doubt.
Let's get back to the original conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like where this is going, but the question is, how would it have been different? Let me ask you a question. Who would you pick to be Captain Chief as a movie if you had to pick an actor?
Honestly, again, from what I saw, and again, it was only that 20. It was like a 20-minute analysis of the background and life of the character and whatnot. It's hard to say because, from what I understand, the fact that he was taken as a boy, they started those experiments on him as a boy to make him into a Spartan, and Spartans have very long lifespans. So, from what I understand, he's supposed to have a relatively youthful look, even though he's in his 40s. Like they say, Spartans live to like up to 200 years old. So it's hard to say. I would have to think of a young person who could possibly pull that off. So I don't know if you want to go with, gosh, who would I even pick? If back in the day, maybe like a Zac Efron or something like that when he was younger, or someone like that. But but from what I understand, his features, he would have been an unfat Russell Crowe. Man, well, you'd have to go back definitely a few years to pull him out because he was never a skinny guy. He was never a skinny guy. We appreciate it. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, this is only like the tip of the iceberg. You should go back watch some other stuff we got into.
So yeah. But as far as a young person who could have played, he would have to be young. You're talking about maybe like a 21 or someone like in his early 20s. Because again, all of the footage was such that he has this young look, with the exception of some battle scars and stuff like that. He kind of has like a very youthful appearance. So it couldn't be like a 30, 35-year-old person or anything like that. He would have to he would have to be able to pull that off. So I don't know, because I'm not
So
keeping up
here's the
necessarily
catch with
with
this.
like a lot of young actors. So it'd
Here's
be
the
hard
catch.
to, yeah.
Captain America, I mean, Master Chief never shows his face, so you can pick anybody.
That's the
So
thing.
yeah,
If he's
so
going to be in his armor most of the time, then I don't know how much it matters.
they never show. From my knowledge, they have never showed his face on and scene. Or you
Mm-hmm.
see like the back of it a little bit sometimes when
Mm-hmm.
he puts his helmet on. You never see his face. I
Right.
think they do that illusion like, oh, you're Captain Chief kind of thing because that's who you're playing really. So the person I would pick, and this is gonna throw you off completely. Where did I put it?
Mm.
Is Petron Pascal, who played Joe in The Last of Us, and he also played in where are the he's gonna be in Gladiator 2. I don't think he's in that one. Game of Thrones he was in.
Mm-hmm.
The Mandarin he's in. And some other stuff. Equalizer. He's actually a very good actor. He's been coming up the ranks really fast lately.
Mm-hmm.
So he was been in Avengers Doomsday. He was in the Great Wall, the Triple Frontier. You know who I'm talking about now, Paul, right?
Yeah. I
You don't sound confident.
I haven't seen a lot of his stuff, but the one I wanted to go back and revisit Doom, again. Who would play Doctor Doom? At least a young Doctor Doom. Who's the actor now who's playing in the oh geez. I'm having brain freezes left and right here. Series on HBO.
22 more days.
No, the give me a second. I gotta look this up. What's the movie with the Dune? Dune Part 1. Yeah, Timothy Chalamet.
Okay.
He plays Paul Atreides. I think he can pull off Doom.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that one.
I could, yeah. The more I'm looking at it, yeah, I think he could definitely pull. He could bet a young Doom. He could definitely pull that off.
So what do you think about what I was saying?
Again, I haven't seen the actor. Like I would have to give. Yeah, I would have to.
But you don't see him. That's the thing. You're actually just hearing his voice. Like you seen the Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't see.
You don't really see his.
You
face
don't
that
see.
much.
You don't see the guy either.
Once or twice you saw it, and that's it. Rare. So you need to hear his voice.
Well, let me ask you this then. Okay, because there's other characters, title characters who you don't see him either, but they're iconic. It may not be who's the actor in the suit. It may be who's the voice. So, like again, rest in peace, James Earl Jones, right? Darth Vader. Okay, the icon of icons in terms of voices. Who would you voice? Who would be the voice actor that you would use for Master Chief? If that voice is going to be, because I'm going to assume that when he's in that suit, he has like a mechanical voice. It's not something that is natural. He's not going to say, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" It's going to be a very regimented, very militaristic, very yes sir, no sir, aye, Jack, copy that kind of thing. So maybe it's more important, not so much as in the suit, because you can get any body actor into the suit. Just like you had Dave Prowse who played Darth Vader, you can put somebody in the suit, but it's the voice that sells the character. So we may have to think about voice actors, what kind of voice performance who you would want to see behind the character. Now, Vin Diesel as the voice of, or the actor from start to finish, Wife School, as far as for Master Chief. Yeah, so we got Vin Diesel, but are you talking about to voice the character, or are you talking about to play like with his helmet off, with all of the because if that's going to be the case, I mean, you could pick Dwayne Johnson, you could pick The Rock to play him if you want to do it that way. But I think the voice that you cast for it might be just as important. So, are you talking about the character from start to finish, in and out of the suit, or are you talking about just the voice acting? Because we all know that Vin Diesel plays, Groot in the
I'm Groot.
Yes, that's
I am
that's Vin
Groot.
Diesel. So if he can, and
Probably
he
the
does to
easiest
have
money
that
he
low
ever made.
baritone voice, so he can possibly pull that off.
I still think that's the easiest money he ever made.
Yeah.
Like that one he says, "I am Groot. I am Groot." And I'm like, seriously, can you say I am Groot? But I'm Groot. I'm like,
No, but
dude.
then he says, "I am Groot." That takes a lot of work to do that one off.
Really, I don't think
Alexander
that bad.
Draymond. Let me look him. Let me look him up. I haven't. Let me just the last Klingon. Let me check it out.
You mean a kingdom? It says kingdom there, not Klingon.
Alexander Draymond. He's a German actor, 41 years old. He looks young, at least in these early shots of him here. The Last Kingdom, not okay. Yeah, The Last Kingdom, not The Last Klingon. My bad. He's 41. He might be a little long on the. He looks youthful for 41. I'll give him that. So like he must keep himself in good shape. These younger shots of him, yes, he definitely has that kind of square jaw. You know what? Now, if you're talking about regardless of age, now if you want to do that CGI stuff where you kind of take the age off the character, the guy in who was the guy in Magic Mike? What was that guy? Channing? Was his name Channing Tatum?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I
Channing.
got some
Now
girls
Channing,
excited
Channing
now.
could have played him. Okay, so White School saying The Voice. Yes, I think that could certainly, but he would have to play it kind of cold because again, everything that I've seen so far about Master Chief or whatever, I don't know. Even though he's human, the way as much stuff as they done to him, I don't know how human he is anymore. You know what I mean? Does he talk like a soldier? Does he talk like a normal person? So even if you used, I like the idea of using Vin Diesel's voice, but it would have to be like very yes, indeed, it would have to be very militaristic in order to pull that off. But yeah, let me say Alexander Draymond. We already took a yeah. He looks like he could be he could certainly be a guy. But the guy from Dune, I think I've seen his acting and whatnot. I think he certainly has the character to play Doctor. I would definitely have him as a Doctor Doom. But yeah, Channing Tatum though, I could certainly see him as Master Chief. He's also a pretty athletic, fairly well built guy.
Dude, you see him in Gambit? They're playing in Deadpool. He
Yeah,
did
yeah,
a
yeah,
great fucking job. I
yeah.
was surprised when I saw him for like that's not him. No way. It took me a minute because the long hair threw me off, and obviously the face mask, half face mask, I guess you can call it,
Right,
face shield or whatever you want to call it.
right.
When he came around a corner and like he started talking, like, is that him? And when I realized it was actually him, I'm like, holy shit, he's
Yeah,
not. I know he always wanted to play that character, and the bow staff moves. That's all him, bro.
yeah.
He's been studying that for years. That's what he always wanted to play as Gambit.
Right, right.
They had greenlit, but something happened and they got scrapped in the end.
Yeah,
He was very bummed about it. But
yeah. I could definitely see him. Yeah, I think that might be our guy. Channing. I could definitely see Channing.
all right, Disney. If you
pulling out.
see this, give credit to us. Here at Spartan XU Network. I just need that's 5%. That's all I'm asking. 5%.
Now I may introduce one more guy, and again, I know he's involved in another franchise, but the guy Pattinson that played Batman, the Batman.
I'm not a fan of his acting.
You really?
No,
Now, were you a fan of the Twilight series?
No.
Did you see them?
I
You
saw
didn't like
a little bit of yeah.
I'm in the minority. I like the Twilight series of films.
I think they're good. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Eric
they're
doesn't like
good.
Twilight either, by the way.
I haven't seen it from the beginning to the end, to be honest with you.
I know I saw the first 3 films. I don't know if I saw the 4th film all the way through, but I liked it. I thought it was a unique approach to the whole vampire thing. I liked the interaction between them and the beasts within the vampire community, as well as the beasts with the shape shifting werewolves. I like that whole entity. So but Twilight is one of those you either love it or you hate it kind of things. I know this girl I used to work with, she hated Twilight. But I was like, I didn't see anything wrong. It was with all the vampire movies that have been out over the years. I definitely thought it was certainly one of the better series that was out there. But I don't know who. Let me find out. Like you said, Eric,
I got it ready.
So who's the voice actor for Master Chief in the games?
It's Steve. Oh, I just had it, man. Steve Downing? I can't pronounce his fucking
Steve
name.
Downs.
Yes, thank you. Of course, wife is gonna say Twilight was good. Like every girl I know loves Twilight.
Yeah, I thought it was. I didn't think it was bad. I liked it.
I'm not saying it was bad. I'm not. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying.
Well, I thought it was good. I didn't. I maybe go beyond that. I thought it was good because I got to a point where I just got sick of. I didn't want to see another vampire movie. I didn't want to see another zombie movie. You know what I mean? I mean, how many zombie movies are you gonna make, right? How many vampire movies are you gonna make? It's like, yeah, we get it. You know, we know what vampires are at this point. Do we really need another one? You know what I mean? So I just got tired of. So I thought it was a bit refreshing. Now, I didn't read the books. I wasn't into the books at all. But let's see, the actor from Aaron Pierre from let me look him up.
I guess I have some good opinions here. Like we better get some credit here. Hollywood, talk to us. Stop talking to this producers. Stop talking to this.
Yeah, cast us. We'll be the casting agents. We'll pick the people. We'll pick the people to be in your films.
They asked for 50%. We asked only for 5%. We're cheaper too.
Mm-hmm. See, now this guy, he's 30 years old. Looks pretty mature for his age. But again, it would have to be one of those things where you would have to have multiple actors. You know what I'm saying? Because again, they took him as a child. So you'd have to have someone play him from 8 or 9. Then you have to play someone as a teenager. Then you would have to, you would have to, build up until you got to this, this final version of it. And again, these guys, these soldiers, they stay young again because of all the augmentation that's been done to them. They don't age, just like Captain America doesn't really age. So you would have to.
He's also frozen in time too, so you can't really count that.
Well, no, but I think the aging process has slowed down a bit. Now I know in Endgame he got old. At the end he kind of aged gracefully, but certainly with the Halo soldiers. There's definitely their aging process has been slowed down significantly. So he would have to come up like towards the end. But who would you want? Because the thing is, the younger actor, and that's why I'm going for a younger person. That person would have to sell most of the film because that kid is the one who went through the most. Right? It's the kid who went through all those surgeries, all those implants, all of those brain surgeries and whatnot, until he got crafted to this sort of super soldier. And then once you get to the super soldier, I don't know how interesting he is. But he would have to sell it in such a way. That's why I thought, now again, a lot of people didn't like this film, but I liked it a lot. I think, yes, it had a lot of negatives to it, that you can write off. But I liked X-Men Origins Wolverine. I liked that movie a lot up through at least the part where they brought in Deadpool in the fight at the end. But I thought that they did. Well, I'm sure there's stuff available at Life School. I'm sure there's stuff. You can do all kinds of stuff now. But I think that the way they set it up with the whole transformation sequence when he's in the pool and they're injecting him with the adamantium and stuff, I thought he sold that so well. You would need an actor to go through again that tragic, that surgery. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Tonight he's on a roll tonight.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm saying that the younger version of Master Chief, I think, really is the one that you have to invest in just as much as the mature one or the one who would go off doing stuff. Because I really don't think that the guy is that interesting. From what I've seen, like I said, he's almost like a robot. He's like an android. And if to your point, if he's in his suit most of the time, then how much can you really get out of a character like that? The human story, his transformation would be the interesting part. So again, you would have to have somebody who can play like almost like a tortured soul, like someone who is, and maybe someone who like I said, maybe becomes less human over the course of time. Because by the time he gets to where he is, and from what I understand, he's supposed to be the best of those soldiers.
The best.
The best of the best. So again, he may operate with like a coldness that, may not be as appealing. It would almost be better if he was a villain. I think that's why Darth Vader works. I think that's why Darth Vader works so well. Because again, he played it cold. He was ruthless, but he was cold. And so those type of characters, but it's hard to root for someone like that. You know what I'm saying? And assuming that he's supposed to be again, sort of like a hero type of character. That's why I was saying earlier, as far as the organization that that does all this stuff, I don't know if they're good or bad, but I think it's pretty bold of them to go and steal a kid when he's young, replace him in a clone that dies in a couple of years, and just keep it moving, and just for your own interest. So again, that would be something that again, it would be hard for me to pull off. As far as the Mandalorian, again, to me, the Mandalorian to me is not as interesting as the surrounding characters in the series. I don't know how you feel about that.
I actually did enjoy it, but I'm a huge Jedi fan, so I wish there was more Jedi action into it.
Right. I'm saying, but the Mandalorian himself, the character of the Mandalorian versus, to me, everybody else in the Mandalorian made the Mandalorian. In my view, I didn't see him as particularly interesting or engaging. But that's just me.
I do see your point of it, but I haven't seen the last season yet to tell you my full opinion on it yet.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. What did you think about when Luke came in the picture? That one scene.
Oh, that was killer. Absolutely. I mean,
that was
that's
dope, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the CGI was a little bit off. I mean, I thought it's weird. If you look up that scene when he comes in and you look up deep fakes, the thing that gets me is that the deep fake guy did a much better job than the production of the in the Disney. You know what I mean? Because he looked more like Luke. For some reason he's able to interplay the faces of these characters better than you get these multi-million-dollar studios and doing all the CGI work. I'm like, just hire this guy because he seems to do a lot better. I'm sorry, but he seems to do a lot better job than the millions that were played to ILM or whoever to do it. I mean, look, this guy can do a lot more. Let that guy do it, at least to me, anyway.
I'll be careful because it looks like Mrs. Wife's is going to be kicking your butt.
Hey, look, it's a difference of opinion. That's all.
Do you really want to go against a woman's opinion? You know what happens when you do that last time.
Look, I live with women, so I have all women's opinions all the time. So I'm built for this. Let's just say that.
What I was thinking the other day, dude, and I know this is gonna be a little graphic. I'm gonna say it anyway. Is I feel bad for you in a way. I'll tell you why. Because when the whole full women are in the house, you never got a break. Every week was somebody's cycle. I can see one ends, the next one ends, the next one ends, the next one, next one. Like, how did you survive 4 women like that? That's what I want to know.
Again, you treat every one of them as an individual. So you develop different skill set for each one of them, because each one of them is so different. So so again, you let them be. Yes, they do. I ain't gonna lie. Yes, they do.
I'm not gonna argue that either. I think the women's are the most beautiful thing in the world.
100%. But you got it. But again, you treat them all as you treat them all as an individual, and then you ask them, in terms of, what do you need from me, or how best to interact with you. I know my middle one, she's the most emotional one. So a lot of times when she wants to talk, I say, okay, so are you here to talk or are you here to vent? And I can do either. If you want to vent, I'll shut up and just let you vent. But if you want to talk, then okay, then I may introduce some things. But sometimes she's like, look, I just want to vent and I just want you to hear me. Okay. Not a problem. We got sideways one time with that. I said, okay. And then, and more time pumping iron. Not quite. I pump out, I only work out 90 minutes a week, or if that, or less. So my pumping iron is very intense, but it's very brief. It's very short. Today I went 52 minutes. I went a little long today. But typically my leg workout's about 35 minutes, and my upper body workout is about 45 minutes. And I get it in, and it's done, and that's it twice a week. After I worked out, I mowed my lawn. That's my cardio. And that's really all I do. But again, the workouts themselves, very intense. I go to failure and everything. So, and then the rest of the time, I just need to recover. So the growth and the change and the strength happens in the rest, not in the workout. All the workout is a stimulus to get those things, and then I just eat and rest in the meantime to get bigger and stronger for next time. So. And today's my cheat day. So tonight I had pizza and wings. I had eggs. I had muffins. I had, I had all the stuff. Bad
for you, bro. They're
Spice donuts. I had all that today. I think I may end the day with a protein shake, but I eat anything I want on training day. It's also, I got to replace the glycogen that I used in the workout. So again, simple sugars and carbs, bring them in on Saturday. And then I do a little on Sunday, Monday, back on the diet, back on the low carb diet. And I just kind of keep it. I just kind of keep it in mind. Yeah, I mean, if you do it intensely, you can't train that long. So again, there's always an inverse relationship between training intensity versus training duration and training frequency. The higher the intensity, the less you can train. And the less frequently you can train, because you have to recover. And so going back to 2011, around 2011, I actually made the change, because I used to train 5 days a week. Had chest day, back day, leg day, shoulder day, whatever. I did all of that. 5 sets of an exercise. Pyramid structure up to failure. I did the Arnold Schwarzenegger Encyclopedia bodybuilding routine. That was my thing for years. But I stopped responding to it because I'm an ectomorph. And then I realized that, you know what? I discovered high intensity training, HIIT, Arthur Jones, Mike Mincer type training, and I even became certified in that training methodology. And so I'm a HIIT trainer. If I'm in the right equipment, most of the time it's 30 minutes a day. If I train people, it's usually today. The last 2 sessions I did, they were about 22 minutes apiece on clients. We get in and we get out, and that's what we talk about. I can do a total body session in about 22 minutes or less, and that's what we do. So yeah. So I'm definitely, that's something I was dropped. It's easier on the joints. And again, I get a lot more recovery time. So that's what I do. And in fact, I just posted some pictures today on my Instagram. In 22 days, I'll be 55, and still getting in, still hitting personal numbers and highs and stuff like that, and feel good most of the time. Every once in a while, I'll wake up and something doesn't feel good, and then it just goes away on its own after a couple of days. But still grinding and just trying to stay in shape and be as strong as I can for my age for a longer period of time. So it's all good here.
Now let me ask you this question, Paul. If you were training, body parts every 5 days a week with your work schedule, do you think you'd be able to keep up with it still?
Well, I did it for 5 days a week, but the thing is, I would train like after hours. So again, I used to train. Most of my training was at night,
Mm-hmm.
or on the weekend. So a lot of times I would go like Monday to Thursday, and then maybe take Friday off, and then train again like on Saturday. Because I can really get it on Saturday or possibly even Sunday. But that was just the program. That was just from the reading the bodybuilding magazines. Like I said, the body, the Arnold's Encyclopedia of bodybuilding, and so it's just about volume. But when I discovered Arthur Jones, and Mike Mincer, in fact, there was a early YouTube video. He was training someone. I really wanted to learn more about it, so I got some books by Ellington Darden, who worked with Arthur Jones, and so that for me that changed the game. It really did. I got my strongest on that program because again, as an ectomorph, you can't do a lot of volume. You have to give your body the now mesomorphs. Those are like the freaks, like the bodybuilders that you see, the professional bodybuilders or whatnot. They're typically mesomorphs. They just have the ability to put on that size, and they're able to, they just, look muscular without even working out. But, for me, rest, I realized that growth for me happens in rest, not in the workout. And I understood that as just a principle of life, that you have to, as much you may work and you think you just work, but you got to give your body as well as your mind a time to I did the push pull method also. So I would do back and chest and back one workout. I would do arms and shoulders another one. I would do legs, and then I would repeat. And so that was just my routine for years. But I plateaued out. I stopped making gains, and when I went to HIIT training, like I said, a lot of stuff changed. I got stronger, and I was able to also maintain. Yeah, so sleep and nutrition is where the strength happens. But I think that's a principle of life. I think that, like studying, for example, like, if you try to study all the time, I think you get to a point where your brain gets stagnant. Study for a bit and then get away from it for a while. Then come back to it again, and then you can sort of pick it up. But, cramming doesn't work for a lot of people. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to modulate that. So, or study a point and then go away from it and meditate on the point, so that once you understand the concept, now you're ready for the next one. It's like when you did martial arts, right? I mean, there were certain things your teacher would teach you, but you had to kind of master that before he would teach you something else, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, so that it's the same thing. But if you just
concept,
keep going,
just different exercise. That's all different it is, really. You same, martial arts and bodybuilding is similar. Just a different way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One is weights, one is self defense. That's the only difference, really.
Right.
Bases on the same thing. So that's why I'm kind of excited. In November, I'm gonna start this CrossFit to see, maybe I get different results. I don't know. Maybe, that may be better for me. I don't know. Do I walk into the box and figure it out? You know what I'm saying? That's different.
The only thing I would just the caution again, CrossFit, it can be a great environment. The only thing I would just caution you on, again, just be careful of the injuries and the explosive type of movements. Yes, endomorphs have it tougher. They just do. I mean, but again, more volume, more work, less calories and whatnot. So because you already have a lot of energy that's kind of in reserve. And so how do you get the body to utilize some of that excess energy so that you can drop the weight that you typically want, unless you want to be a power lifter or something like that. So those are things that you have to, sounds like like a bloodhound. So that's another. So we're not getting political today. So, but I give him credit. Despite his whatever issues he has physically or whatever, he takes pretty good care of himself, and I respect anybody
shape, actually, overall.
who puts I respect anybody who puts that kind of work in to stay in shape, especially guys like in his 60s now. So again, salute to anybody who puts that kind of dedication in to stay in shape. So, and that's all I'm going to say on RFK Jr. And
No,
they
you
were
see,
gonna,
it reminds me of a funny thing I was going to say earlier, but we went off subject, so I want to get back to this one part.
sure.
Wolverine, the guy who plays, I can't remember his name for my life, depending on me. You know what I'm talking about? The guy who plays Wolverine.
Oh, in the movie franchise?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So if you see him when he first started picking the role, and to lately, he got more shredder over the years.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. Yeah. Well, first he got bigger because in the first X-Men he was very small. By the second one, he got jacked in the second one, and he's mostly maintained that over time. The only time he went backwards a little bit was in the last Wolverine movie, the one he dies in. That was the last. That was the last of it. So yes, I said, and that's why I hate you guys. I hate mesomorphs because you guys, like I said, you guys could just look at a weight, and the weight comes on. So that's why ectomorphs and mesomorphs and endomorphs, we hate mesomorphs because yeah, that's the way it is. I mean, you got. Plus, you did gymnastics. Hate you even more. So you had all that muscular stuff going on. And I don't know if you notice, Peter. I don't know if you watch gymnastics or the Olympics or whatever.
I do.
You can tell the difference between the American gymnasts. I'm talking about the girls. The American gymnasts versus like the Chinese gymnasts or these other gymnasts. All of our women are jacked. Like Simone Biles is jacked. Like she could. If she wanted to transition and become a bodybuilder, like a female bodybuilder, all those women, give them like 12 weeks to get shredded, and they could go onto a Miss Olympia stage and probably win it. I mean, it's the difference in especially you got the black girls now, the Latino women and whatnot. I mean, they thick anyway. But I mean, all of the U.S. gymnast women, you put them up against the Chinese or the Asian women or whatever. I mean, jacked to the gills, to almost to like, are they on the sauce or not? I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but again, it's just different. I mean, the gymnasts, they got thighs, they got butts, they got boobs, they got they got massive shoulders. They like, oh my gosh, flex a bicep or something like that. I mean, yeah. So if you got that, could tell you if you had that kind of background and you're a mesomorph. Lifting weights and whatnot, yeah, you're gonna have advantages, genetic advantages, over most people. But the ectomorphs and the endomorphs,
when somebody cannot put weight on easily and gain weight easier,
that's an ectomorph.
Ectomorph, that's what I probably am. That means, right?
Yeah. Endomorphs are typically heavier, or they have weight issues, or just body fat and whatnot. They have to come down. Or they definitely have to watch their diets, especially in the off season, because again, they like a lot of bodybuilders. They put on size in the off season and they get shredded for a show. But yeah, we don't like you mesomorphs. Absolutely, I'm with White School. Even though we're on opposite ends of the spectrum, we hate the mesomorphs because they get all see Latino. Yeah, so you got the Latina body also. We got, like I said, we got you. We got you. You got all these advantages: gymnast, Latina, bodybuilder, mesomorph. You got it all going on. And so yeah. So you're not going to be endearing to the people who have to work a little bit harder to kind of try to look a little bit different. But please don't rub it in. But yes, you have all those things going in your favor. But for endomorphs, they can't afford to get too heavy in the off season, because then that means they got to take off too much weight to get down in shape. Usually, if you're a bodybuilder who's an endomorph, you don't want to be more than like 15, 20 pounds off of your contest shape. We have some people if you're not careful, an endomorph can get up 50, 60 pounds over their body weight. And then they have to work that much harder to take all that fat and all that extra weight off. So it does, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So maybe Catelia, maybe you and Wife School, maybe I'm sure you can give some tips to Wife School on how she can, improve her. So you can't change your body type, but you can certainly work with what you have. So maybe you guys can swap information, and maybe Catelia, she could put a program or something like that together for you to help you get into the shape that you want to be in. But yeah, it's definitely a thing. But just getting back to, I guess, the points of the topic of the show tonight. Like I said, I don't know what kind of combat training that Master Chief has gotten outside of the military, again, training with weapons and tactics, and because again, they're usually like in campaigns, right? They're fighting off enemy soldiers, enemy beings, or alien, whoever it is that they're fighting. It's more so it's like group combat tactics rather than one-on-one tactics. Now, I know Captain America. I know he's also an expert tactician. We saw that in Endgame at the end where he called the strategy. Okay, this is what we're going to do. So again, everybody looks up to him for like military strategy. So I think that may be another advantage in Captain America's. Well, that might be a wash, because I think both Master Chief and Captain America, they both have hardened battle experience, leading troops, leading campaigns against going in enemy lines. I think both of them have, I guess, maybe equal kudos when it comes to those endeavors. So that might be a wash in terms of those two having the ability to in terms of that kind of thing. But again, in a hand-to-hand situation, I still need to give it to Cap. But shout out to Wife School. Says she's dropped, had to drop 40 pounds. Awesome. So when did the Master Chief show? The Master Chief show up? I don't know. Like I said, he's from a video game series. So again, I don't so I don't know the Xbox. That much of the background outside of that, which I was able to do a like I said, a quick YouTube video on him and just getting some of the bio and background. But but you could say Captain America. I mean, he fought in the most deadliest of wars, World War II, and the stuff that happened after that. So he's been in some situations, but I won't deny that Master Chief has also had some hardened military campaigns that he's had to compete in, and so he probably knows as much strategy as Captain America. Like I said, that's to me that's a 1-to-1. I think that's a wash.
So I don't say it's completely washed, because I think, again,
you muted.
I am.
You muted.
I am. There's nothing here. Can you hear me now? That's weird. All right.
Yep, you're still muted.
Give me 1 second to fix this.
Yep, you muted. Can't hear you.
I don't know why. Nothing. Can you hear me now? The fuck is going on here? I'll be right back. Can't hear me yet? Can you hear me?
Yeah, no doubt. Mary Lou Retton, yeah. Again, the American gymnasts in general, they just are bigger, more muscular bodies. But compared to the like I said, the other gymnasts, the Russian gymnasts and whatnot, very slender, very skinny, like girl-like bodies. So there's definitely a big difference there with that. But like I said, I saw this last gymnastics team that was, but even like the Brazilian, the one who won I think one of the all around, even her from Brazil, she was jacked. She was So again, the era of the slender, skinny gymnasts, might be coming to an end as well, or you just can't get past those genetics. All right, so you guys said you could hear Peter, but for some reason I'm not able to hear him. So maybe it might be an issue on my end. I know I'm not muted. Let me just double check here and see what's going on. So Peter, you can then go and talk then, because if they're saying they can hear, but I can't hear you.
My side.
Let me check what's going on with me. Can you hear me, Peter?
Yes.
Okay, so you can hear me, but for some reason I can't hear you. All right, so let me try something here.
Oh, where is you? Can you hear me now? hear me now?
For some reason I'm not hearing him. Let me.
Can you hear me now?
All right, let me go out and come back in. Let me try that.
All right. I love how we have it difficult towards the end of the show, guys. That is so not typical. You know what? I will probably say it was a curse of the king. And because he was here. Can you hear me now?
I still can't hear you. That's so
All right.
weird. It just happened.
Hang on. Let me fix something. Audio. Can you hear me now?
Still can't.
Can you hear me now?
I don't know. Maybe that's.
Can you hear me now?
We got about 13 minutes left, so maybe that's maybe that might be the on how we ended then. I still can't hear you. Let me go all the way out and back in, or let me click on the link again. I'll try again.
What about this time? Okay, and he walked away. All right. All right. Hopefully he comes back. All right. Let's give it a few minutes for Paul to come back. I love the curse of the king showed up again. Every time he shows up, I get cursed. Oh, Jesus. So yeah. So where are we? All right. Let's see what he says. Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Now you can hear me. Good.
Yeah. That was so weird. It just I didn't hear a bloop. I didn't hear anything. It just went out.
No, that's weird.
Hmm.
It could have been on my side too, bro. You know, it could have been like I know my settings get screwed up sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So wrapping up towards close the end of the show. What do you think, man? Who would you have the trophy to?
Cap.
Really?
At the end of the day, again, long military experience, better hand-to-hand combat, is good with a lot of weapons. I mean, you can use a lot of things. All that work he's done with the Avengers and having to fight those different guys off. Like I said, he's fought super powered beings. And yeah, definitely Mary Lou was. And in fact, I'm sad to hear. I don't know. I don't think if she passed, but I know she had her health took a turn for the worse. And I know she was in bad shape for a long time. And so I'm not sure if she's.
So, I personally will give it to Captain America too. The reason is, Captain America has the most experience. And I think he is better than anybody else out there because he has more experience. He more hand-to-hand combat. I don't ever see Master Chief fight hand-to-hand combat. Not even once in any series.
No.
It's always with a rifle.
Right.
A gun. And that's it. So I'm gonna leave it to that. Captain America wins it, hands down. So leave it at that.
Absolutely.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
So,
Fair enough.
All right, let's. I'll give you the floor for final thoughts, and let's get the hell out of here.
Hey, interesting topic. Again, I had to do some little research there to get caught up on who the Master Chief was. I've never played Halo in my life, so I don't have that experience. I'm a classic gamer, so I'll play Galaga or Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, Contra, all the old coin-up games. I'll play those, but a lot of these games where you play for hours at a time, I can't get into them. It would take me too long, and so the last role-playing sort of shooter action game that I played seriously for a while, and this is going back a long time, and it was oh geez, my brain freeze is happening again. It was one of those, was it ID games, and it was called let me get it here. Wolfenstein. All right, so Wolfenstein 3D, and I played Doom. I think in early versions of the Doom game back in the day, the computer game. And so, though outside of that, I didn't get into Halo or any of these other games. So again, I had to do a little bit of research there. So again, I admit some of my my commentary might be biased towards Captain America, since I've seen certainly all of the MCU films, and certainly the from the comics and whatnot, from the classic cartoon series from back in the day. So I lean heavily Cap for that reason. But I may have to do again a bit more research on the Halo series, and if it's as popular as everyone says it is, I'm surprised that again I know someone said that I guess they had a TV series of some kind, but if it's popular, if it makes sense in terms of dollars, then who knows? There could be in the works a blockbuster Halo movie that could be on the horizon that we could be seeing soon, and that we may have to revisit this conversation again when we so we can have a better analysis of it. But Peter, one thing that we haven't done yet, and now I don't know what your schedule is regarding upcoming shows, but I think I'm already up to episode 5 on the McMahon series, and so certainly I don't know how many of you've seen. But certainly I wouldn't mind.
I only saw the first 2. Only reason, like I said, I've been under the weather. Like last night, I took some NyQuil. I started watching the 3rd episode, and I was out.
Yeah.
So for me to go to bed at what time was it? 8:20. That's bad.
Yeah. So
I don't get sick often. So when I say I'm sick, I'm sick. Like this is my first time being sick in 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And I know what caused it too, and it's me kicking myself in the butt right now. You know what caused it too, Paul? You can say it.
No, I mean, what?
Smoking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know what it was. I'm not stupid. I don't need to talk to me. Oh yeah, coughing's bad for you. I'm like, I know it's coughing. The cough. That's why I only have a cough, not a fucking fever or anything like that.
Gotcha. So yeah.
Hopefully this will. I haven't touched cigarettes in 24 hours, so I'm good right now. Or vape or anything, so I'm good right now. So if I keep this track, I'm good.
There you go.
So once I catch up on the schedule with the show and everything, I would definitely reach out to you on the thing with Captain Chief is he is popular, but not that popular. If that makes sense.
Right.
For a Halo movie, there's no such thing as a Halo movie in works at the moment, but it's a Halo series. I think Max actually has it. Paranormal. You can watch it. I didn't hear good or bad things about it, so it gives a personal opinion. If you're into gaming, you need to play Muffin Time. Come talk to me after
Muffin Time?
Yes. I've been talking about this for a while. You know that.
What is it? Like a game you play on your phone? You can download it.
No, it's a card game. Okay.
Oh, it's a card game.
Yes, it's like the opposite of Uno. So you know how Uno, you're supposed to get rid of all your cards? You want to collect 10 cards and say, Muffin Time! They're puzzle cards, they're trap cards, they're mini games in it. If you think let's say your wife, for example, if you're playing with her, she's your enemy at that point.
Right.
Like, I might ask you, like, hey, Paul, what time it is? And he goes, oh, it's just, that's it. That's a trap card. That's like, now you got to drop 10 cards. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm about to win the game.
Absolutely. Shout out to Cattell. Yes, the Steelers play the Cowboys for the first time since 2020.
You better guys win that fucking game.
We play every 4 years. So for some reason, how the schedule is, two of arguably the best, most popular franchises in the NFL, and so we play tomorrow. So it's a must win tomorrow because of Baltimore. I think they're starting to play better. They're starting to get their game together. So we need to keep our distance between them and us. And so I'm definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, thank you for joining in. And we're gonna have to have you come up sometime. I mean, you're always following us, but I don't think
that's a great idea.
Can tell you, I don't know if she's ever come up on any show, but I would love to have have her up to chop it up.
Time out. Don't get ahead of me. This Thursday, I'm actually doing a show that you'd be perfect for. Actually, come up. The Thursday show. Okay, let me go over the schedule. I'm gonna get to Thursday. Tomorrow's show, we're talking about TV shows. between on the gray area between American and Greek and European and all that stuff. We're supposed to have a couple guests coming up pretty soon. Angry Elf, I got to reach out to him. I believe he said sometime October, early November, he's going to be coming on. Veteran, really good guy.
Also
nerd
Mandrell,
beyond
right?
nerd. I'm sorry?
Mandrell too, right? Oh, that's
Mandrell,
going to be
that's
for
my
our gray
next
area.
I reached out to him. I wanted to come in this week, but he never got back to me. So I'm
Okay.
going to reach out to him again. He's horrible with his phone ever after he got married. So this scheduled show this week. Okay, this is the one want you to come on. Is I Don't Need a Man. Is this Thursday's show? Yes, I am going there. Obviously, you know how my shows are. Nobody's gonna argue. Nobody's gonna argue. I'm not gonna let that happen. I'll cut your ass off. I'll kick you off the stream. Simple as that. If you can't show respect, you don't belong in my stream. Am I right or wrong, Paul?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So next Saturday is Kingsman: The Art of Spy and System. Just talking about the movies. I have seen the first two. I haven't seen the third one. I started seeing it.
I haven't seen any yet, so I need to see if I can get one in.
Yeah, get one
this
in.
week.
The first one is the most important one.
I'll try to do that. Yep.
Yeah, that's in my opinion. And then let me see. Give me 1 second. I forgot the schedule. And the week after next Sunday, the 13th, we're gonna be talking about my worst enemy on the gray area: cigarettes on the gray area. Because
Okay.
because Europeans do smoke a lot,
Oh.
way too much.
Brutal.
Yeah, so yeah. So that's what we're gonna talk on that, and then on Thursday the 17th, where this is I know we spoke about this before, and this is why I put this back to back for you mostly. Hopefully you can make him. Is your heart is your head on right? Develop him into mental health clients, and let me get into. Oh, and that's what we're gonna hit. We are not gonna be here the 20th. Is it the 20th? Let me double check. Hang on.
Well, the Comic Con's the 19th, right? Saturday
19th,
19th.
I'm thinking 19th. We're taking the night off. We might pop a hit here and there. We might pop in the last minute. I don't think we will because we'll be too fucking tired. Because this is a whole day event.
Yeah.
So yeah. Keep that in mind. So we might take the day off for that and just to recuperate. I was thinking the 20th doing a Comic Con relapse show on the gray area. What do you think, Paul?
Let me think about that one because I know
Yeah,
it typically doesn't follow our. I think something like that would be now. If you want to do the next week on the Hangout, I think that would be the better form for it.
That's fine. We can do that. If
Yeah.
you don't want to do that in gray area, whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll figure it out. I got to reach out to you because we got to talk about
Yeah, we do.
Comic-Con a little more details.
Yeah, we'll definitely. We can definitely. So my schedule freed up some, so I got that release out thing. Even though we're in sort of maintenance mode at this point, but definitely I'm much freer this week. So if you want to just grab some time, you let me know when, because I know you're working too. So you let me know when you want to talk. We'll just get on and we'll just chop it up and plan this thing out the way it needs to be.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Probably
Okay.
on Wednesday. I'm thinking.
Sounds
Wednesdays
good.
look for you.
It's good. That's open.
Okay, cool. All right. Any final thoughts after that?
I'm
Final
good.
thought.
I'm good.
All right, guys.
Final-
as always, this
Final
is,
of the final thought. No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Thanks. I'll be fine. And just not this cold. I gotta get my head back on straight. And it's time to coming back on straight. There's a lot of BS I was dealing with, and I'm getting there. So I do have a special announcement tomorrow, by the way. This is about my mom's health. You'll be happy.
Okay.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll say it now. I'll say it today.
Save it.
Yeah.
Again, you got to keep. Again, you have to keep the people coming back.
Yeah, I know. I get too excited.
So again, tune in tomorrow for the announcement. Tomorrow
end of the show.
on the grid.
You have to wait till the end of the show.
The end of the show.
Yeah, so you have to watch the
now
whole
you want
show.
to drag it out. Now you want
yeah.
to drag it out. Okay, I got you.
Okay, so
Buenas noches.
as always, let me just close this out. As always, this is the Spartan Execute Network. It's not has a ring to it now. He is. I'm gonna write one of these days, Mr. President, Paul, Mr. Bennett, or Mr. B, whatever you want to call him, and I am goes to Spartan.